Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Jessica, who's already had one film in the film festival, has come back for more with her amazing film Tomorrow. Let's take a look at the clip.
Should we go upstairs? I promise it'll be different this time. I've changed.
Why don't we talk about it over dinner tomorrow? Why are you like this? You can't make a commitment to something 24 hours from now?
Jessica, welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Great to be back here.
Been a long time, but I'm so glad that you came back to us. Thank you for Tomorrow. I never know what you're going to bring to us, and I love this film as well, like my goodness. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us the brief synopsis.
Yes, so Tomorrow is about a young woman who tries to get her late night hookup to commit to her with ... monstrous results.
Like, it's a brilliant synopsis. Like, why would you not want to see it? I'm always amazed by your imagination and your creativity. This story has a particular imagination, which I love, that you created. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating Tomorrow?
So the script was actually written by a friend of mine who, it comes from a little bit of personal dating experience. And it was originally a sketch for the theater. Oh. And so we wanted to make something, a short film, because I've been in the process of working on longer projects, like a feature, which is taking a little bit longer than a short, understandably. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I wanted to do something fun with friends. So I, saw the script and thought this would be really cool to bring to the screen, especially with like playing with how we shoot it, mm-hmm. kind of flipping audiences' imaginations and expectations, like shooting it like a horror when it's actually filled with comedic elements.
I mean, it definitely had horror and comedic elements, and I loved how you just created this very sort of like supernatural sort of set experience as well, which we'll go into. I'm amazed of, obviously there's a kind of a twist in the story. I don't know how much you're going to reveal, but it's great. But I love this dynamic of like this, girl that wants a commitment, and then this guy who's not committal. And I thought it was just a great articulation together. How did you go about bringing your cast together, and how did you go about directing this particular piece?
So the cast, it came about very naturally, actually. Our female lead is a good friend of mine, Luan Miyasu, who she's an excellent actress as well as writer. And for Brad, our male character, he actually was a friend of a friend, and I was, talking to him about the project, and he just got really excited and kind of was like, I can relate to this character, and just really getting into the whole, monstrous aspect of it. So.
I love how he said he can relate to the character. I mean, that's once you've seen the film, you realize, oh, that's very interesting. Jessica, how do you go about directing something like this? Like, it's quick, it's short. There's a lot of emotion and kind of backstory to this whole thing. Was it different in this project to other projects? I mean, you certainly had to. Have you ever done, something with this monstrous perspective as well? Like, it was very, very cool.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, I think this project was really fun to direct because on the surface we have, what starts off as kind of almost archetypical, a little bit maybe even stereotypical type of, heteronormative dating experiences. Like, okay, she's, a female that wants love in a relationship almost to a fault. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy that's very, flaky, just wants to, get his and move on. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I think, with this story and pretty much any story that I work on and direct, like, the character, like I really try to work on that with the actors and humanize them and I think it's definitely a thing that I always think about. Like, there's no like wrong or right or good or bad type of character. There's always like a deeper reason why someone behaves the way they do. So that was, you know, just something that I had like some fun talks with the actors, and we did like one Zoom rehearsal because Emilio is located in the Bay Area. So we rehearsed once on Zoom, but once we, you know, got to set, and everything just seemed to flow together very well.
No, I mean, yeah, it looked seamless. I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I love this kind of picturesque dynamic. It felt very, I don't know, I love the feel of it. I love how it was shot. I also love just the kind of color sequences that you had in there as well. Did you kind of know how you wanted to kind of shoot this? And also, you know, you had to play with nighttime as well, so there was that kind of element as well. But I love how you shot it. How did you kind of work on the production design of that?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely owe a lot of that to my awesome DP, Danilo, who he was just so amazing with working with him, because, you know, our team was really tiny. It was about like less than 10 people, and we did 2 overnight shoots. But what really helped was just being on the same page visually, like with myself and my DP. Like, we really wanted to highlight, you know, the differences of perspective between the 2 characters. So like you noted, we shot Joanne's scenes, or like whenever you see her coverage is with warm lighting, and for Brad we went with like the cooler lighting, just to showcase like not only their, you know, the 2 binaries, but also kind of how they're looking at the prospects of this night.
No, definitely. Well, you said you did 2 overnight shoots. Jessica, how was that? Is there anything you learned from that experience? Anything you can share with anyone that's ever going to do an overnight shoot?
I would say don't ever do it again. No, just kidding. It actually, it wasn't too bad because, yeah, I think, well, it was kind of interesting because what happened was we spent, I would say, maybe 70 to 80% of the night basically waiting for makeup, which isn't, you know, anything bad in terms of like our makeup artist. That's just the nature of working with such heavy special effects makeup, which is what I learned. But I think that just speaks to how strong the cast and the crew were, because, you know, we had just a few takes, and yeah, they really nailed it. So that was great.
Absolutely. And I have to say, obviously the makeup required certain incredible people to work on it. It was mesmerizing. Like, I was like, wow, this was an incredible transformation. How did you go about finding the person to kind of support that and deliver that? Because it really looks so effective on screen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we had a very talented makeup artist, Hannah Keoke, who she, you know, she really understood the vision, and you know, I talked with her about exactly like what we were going for, like how I saw kind of a slower transition, like each time she kind of pokes at him, he, you know, slowly turns into his final state. So yeah, that was something that, you know, she really kind of just brought her special effects experience with. Like, she's really great with, you know, creating monsters as well as beauty makeup. So that was really fun to see and to work with. And yeah, we had so many great things. Like, she even hand created like these gloves that were with the werewolf nails and the hair and everything like that.
Yeah, it looked so effective on the screen, especially on the big screen as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. Obviously, your friend wrote this, you know, great script. What's your dynamic in working with your writer and, you know, as a director? Like, how close do you kind of work? Is it kind of like she hands you the script and off you go, or did you kind of like work out together how you wanted it to kind of look and feel?
Yeah, so for this collaboration, I would say it went pretty smoothly because we have like, you know, a pretty similar sense of humor. And the script, she, you know, once we decided, okay, let's, you know, make this into a short, she adapted it more so into a screenplay, and I gave a few notes, and yeah, then we were ready to go.
Yeah, no, well, listen, Jessica, you know I love your sense of humor. Please keep delivering that in all of your films, because, you know, I just think you just capture things so well on camera, and they did a great job, your actors. How was it having it in front of a live audience? So lovely to have you back at New Filmmakers LA. What was the experience like, you know, with a live audience?
Yeah, it was really, really awesome just to hear all the laughter and like the gasps, and even people kind of like somewhat in denial or angry, like, no, you know, just hearing any kind of reaction like that is always great.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker, so nothing really beats a live screening in person. So I'm really glad to be back with New Filmmakers LA.
Oh, we're glad to have you back. And for any guy that's watching that's non-committal, you'll learn a lot from watching tomorrow, and just letting you know in advance, okay? And I hope it doesn't happen to you. Well, I hope it might happen to you, what happens to you in the film, but we'll see. Listen, what is next for you, Jessica?
So I have a few projects I'm working on. One of them is actually with Luam, who stars in Tomorrow.
Oh, great.
She and I are working on a feature that she wrote and I will direct and she'll star in. And it's basically a dystopian dark comedy about basically in this world, the government gives you a death ticket by the age of 30 if you haven't proven yourself worthy. And we follow a struggling artist on her 30th birthday trying to escape her inevitable fate. So that's a really exciting project, as well as an anthology feature I have called Through the Blinds with 6 other diverse women directors, all under one roof throughout the decades.
I'm ready for it all. That's amazing. Well, please let us know how we can support you in those projects. We're so glad. And I know it's your second film, and I know it's been almost 3 years on from when you made your last film. Is anything changed in any advice or things you've learned in your experience in your career? Like, is there anything you want to share that you kind of learned from this project, or kind of moving forward as a filmmaker?
I mean, I would definitely say, you know, aside from like staying true to making something that you feel excited about, to just, you know, every project, learn something from it and try to just be bigger and better each time.
Yeah, that's it. Well, thank you for tomorrow. We're ready for the next one, but appreciate you bringing it to us, and don't turn into a werewolf. Okay, thank you very much, Jessica, everybody.
Thank you.